Hey everyone, it's Laura from Laura's Kitchen, and today I am excited because I am actually in the kitchen, not in the garden out back today. And today I will be making lasagna. I haven't made lasagna in quite a while, so I thought I'd make a video about it. And we'll just get started here. I've got most things prepped already. I'm using ground turkey today, so I have that already seasoned with some salt, pepper, garlic, onion, some sage, thyme, and just some like McCormick Italian seasoning. So have that there. The noodles are cooked. I cooked them al dente, so they'll be just perfect. I have a whole bowl of mozzarella cheese here, shredded. I'm just going to be using a jar of organic Italian herb pasta sauce today because I didn't have everything to make my own. So I've really been trying to cook more healthy, and that's why I'm using the ground turkey instead of ground beef. Sometimes we would use sausage and beef, and so that just really cuts down on some calories. And to make it a little more healthy and sort of incognito, I'm going to be using vegetables in the sauce. So I'm going to just heat up the pan. This pan I just used to cook the noodles. So I just boiled those in there. Oh yeah, here I've got some cottage cheese mixed up with some eggs and the same seasoning as is in the meat. And this should just take a second to warm up, but I am so excited to be back in the kitchen. I'm in the kitchen every day, but I don't really show it to you guys. So, I thought that, it's called Laura's Kitchen, my YouTube channel, and maybe I would take advantage of that a little bit and make you guys some lasagna. So, I've used a different, recipe every single time I make lasagna pretty much. It's what I have, what sounds good, and what I've also picked up at the store. So, sometimes I use Alfredo sauce, sometimes I use the spaghetti sauce here, and, sometimes, like I said, we use beef, sometimes we use just sausage, and lately, though, I have been putting vegetables in our pasta sauce. So, I have about a quarter of an onion, just a white onion. I have 5 cloves of garlic, which I just have sliced up here, just in little slices. I've shredded up a carrot. I've got about a third of a green onion here, which I just chopped up nicely. And then I have about 5 mushrooms. That is quite a bit of mushrooms for just 5 little white mushrooms, but yeah, I've got all that, which is going to make the pasta sauce sweet and savory and gonna give it a lot more nutritional value than it would if it was just plain. So getting the onions in here, just scoop them in. Don't worry, I washed my hands before I even started. I'm a big stickler about washing your hands, so usually if I see people use the bathroom and not wash their hands and stuff, it just drives me insane. Like, why wouldn't you, Going to culinary arts and, learning all, like, food safety and stuff like that. It's a little bit different when you're cooking with your family, but you really don't want to be, spreading all of your germs to everybody. So, we're just going to saute these a little bit. I'll add the carrots and the garlic in, and I'm going to add the mushrooms in last because they don't really take as long because they're nice and soft already. And if you noticed, I'm using my daughter's little bowls because they're all sort of uniform shape. I thought those were cute. It smells really good already. I'm excited. We haven't had lasagna in forever, and I didn't really think that my daughter would be into it. My boys are camping with their dad, so it's just me, my daughter, and her dad. And so I thought that she would be like, no, I don't want it. But she was like, oh, this boy that she likes in her class, she's like, oh, he likes lasagna. So she was excited to eat lasagna. So that made me excited, and I looked in the fridge and saw what vegetables we had, and I was like, we're gonna make this lasagna super good. I almost shredded up some cheddar cheese to put in with the mozzarella, but I figured it would be enough, and I probably won't even use all of it. Everyone in my family loves cheese, and, you know, trying to incorporate like some vegetarian and vegan meals in my house has become sort of, you know, an issue, because no one wants to eat something unless it has cheese on it or unless there's meat in it. And, you know, not just any meat. The kids, they love processed food, so chicken nuggets and chicken strips and hot dogs and things like that we try not to keep here in the house, you know, so the kids can have real food at dinner. And, you know, unfortunately, if you don't eat your dinner, then there's absolutely no treats, and, you know, you will go to bed hungry. That's just the consequence of not eating, you know, in this house. So, you know, I try to make sure the food that I make is palatable for the kids, and, you know, it's delicious. Like, I love vegetables. My daughter, she's always grown up eating vegetables her whole life. You know, the boys not so much. I would go to work and their dad would feed them, you know, cereal and, you know, sandwiches from the store and stuff like that, chicken nuggets. And so they got accustomed to not eating vegetables because he didn't eat vegetables. So, you know, with my daughter, her dad loves to eat just like I do. And so, you know, he eats steamed clams. We just made this most wonderful, it's marmalade and Cajun encrusted salmon yesterday. I don't like seafood very much at all, but I tried some of it, and we made some mashed potatoes and a broccolini, and it was so good. It was really good. I ate the same, but it was chicken instead of salmon. Me and my daughter ate that, and I had leftovers today for lunch. It was so good. Anyway, now I'm going to add the mushrooms in here. Yeah. And just saute those up a little bit. This also gives the sauce, you know, just more body, you know, not just a plain sauce. There's like chunks to it, and that can add to some of the meaty texture that you're not getting from having all that meat in there. If you hear my cat meowing, it's because he loves to jump on the counter and sit in the window, but he seems to like to do it, especially when I'm cooking dinner or anything like that. So I've locked him in the bathroom for the moment, and he's not happy with it. But that's the price you have to pay, because I do not want cat hair in my food. I don't want cat food either. I'm a person. I like people food. So, anyway, now I think I'm about ready. I'm going to turn it up just a little tiny bit. I'm weak. Just pour the sauce in. Saucy. And I'm going to have to try to make this sauce stretch as much as possible, because usually I'll use like 2 things of sauce, or like 1.5, one big one and a little one or something, just because lasagna seems to take a lot of sauce. The vegetables, they put off, you know, some moisture and stuff too, though, so that helps. And just gonna let that simmer in there for a second. Add the turkey. And there was some juice in there. I tried to make sure that there wasn't any fat or anything. It's just juiciness from the turkey. So there we have a beautiful, like, chunky sauce, and it'll be really delicious in this lasagna. So, to get things started, putting it together, move this over here. I am going to need a little spoon. And then you just take some sauce like you would any normal lasagna, and you just do the normal stuff. Spread some on the bottom and turn it down a little bit so it doesn't splatter everywhere. So just take some more sauce, spread it on the bottom of the pan, and then add your noodles. Like I said, I cook these so they are al dente. This won't be cooked until later. I just wanted to make sure that dinner is going to be ready, and if we get behind after my daughter gets picked up from daycare, my man gets off work a little bit late, that, I can just have dinner ready to just be thrown in the oven at about 350 for 30 to 45 minutes, depending on how long it's been in the fridge. It's like 1:30 right now. We usually eat about 5 or 6, depending. But we've talked about it, and we're going to try to start eating dinner a little bit later than that, just because as adults and not having the metabolism that we used to, I don't like having gained weight recently, and part of that stems from staying up and eating late. If we have dinner at 5 o'clock, by 11 o'clock at night, it's like, man, I'm a little hungry. So, just want to sort of combat that, eating more healthy foods that'll fill us up more, having more vegetable type snacks and stuff like that, and, just trying not to eat late at all. So, I think I'm going to add some of this first, a little bit of the cottage cheese mixture. Some people use ricotta with the cottage cheese, or just without the cottage cheese. I don't like ricotta. I prefer not to have it. I think it makes the lasagna taste grainy, but that's just me, so, I'm just one person. You make it however you like to make it. And another layer of noodle happening here. Oops. Noodles. They do have a tendency to stick together, but when I cook the noodles, I salt the water so that they have some flavor to them already, and I also put oil in it so that they don't stick too much. Wipe my hands off with my trusty towel. Yeah, I love these aprons. I got these when I did culinary arts, and I used them when I made pizzas, and now I use them in my own home for just cooking and trying to stay clean. Because as a mom of 3 and a cat, it's hard to stay clean sometimes. If you notice, if you know me at all, I don't really wear white clothing. It just doesn't stay white. And I have a basket upstairs full of white clothes that are meant to be bleached that I just haven't gotten to bleaching because I just don't have enough white clothes. So anyway, more of this cottage cheese. I love cottage cheese. I think it probably hurts my stomach because I'm pretty 99% sure I'm partially lactose intolerant, if that's even a thing, partial lactose intolerance. But I like it. I saved a little bit of cottage cheese to eat with the lasagna later, so that's exciting. Now for the last layer, there's these last 3 noodles, and this one has split right down the middle, but that's okay. A noodle is a noodle, and we're gonna cover it up with stuff, so. Yum. I think what I'll do is I'll do the cottage cheese layer first this time. For some weird reason. Weird reason. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect either. It's going to taste delicious. Can't wait. Yum. Just put these in the sink. Now the rest of the sauce goes on top. Ooh, the sauce just looks so delicious. Let's see if we can get a close-up. Oops, I'll try not to spill it. So good, so chunky, full of vegetables. And what I used to do when the kids were smaller and just really obnoxious about not wanting to eat, I would take my immersion blender and I would just blend everything up, all the vegetables. Or you could pop it in your real blender, you know, so that everything's just pureed and it's one thick sauce. But it tends to make the sauce look cloudy, and I don't know, it doesn't appeal to me very much. But try to get all the edges here, all saucy. So excited. Sauce. I mean, there is such a thing as too much sauce, but I don't think that's true when it comes to lasagna. Unless it's like lasagna soup, then that's too much sauce. Alright. That's the end of it. That's all she wrote. Oh, so excited. And now for the final cheese topping. This part you gotta make extra cheesy because, you know, you want that golden cheese bubble on top later. Yum. You could even freeze this and, you know, put it in the oven later. I would probably just cover it with foil. If you see, I use like a foil pan so that there's no real cleanup. I know it's not very economical, but I already had them. Somebody gave them to me, so I didn't buy them. I'm just trying to use them up. So everything is all covered with cheese and ready to go. I'm just going to let it cool down a little bit and then pop it in the fridge for later. And like I said, when you cook this, you cook it at about 350 to 375, depending on your oven, and for 30 to 45 minutes. So if you guys want to give me a comment and let me know what you think, maybe try out the recipe, and make sure you subscribe and give me a thumbs up, and I will show you how it turns out, I guess. Maybe I'll try to make a little video later or take some pictures and try to insert it into my next video. I'm not that good at editing, so. But anyway, hope to see you all guys soon, and I'll talk to you later. Bye! I'm all over the place.